All systems go. Clear for liftoff.
Good morning and welcome to this weekend's NASCAR Quick Hit here for ShipItNation.com. I am Eric, also known as TheGame on Discord, and this morning we're going to be talking about the good old Iowa Corn 350 powered by ethanol at the Iowa Speedway. But of course, before we go ahead and break down the Iowa Corn 350, we got to start with mentioning us over here at ShipItNation.com. Everything you need to have success with DFS for less, one-stop shop. You guys already know we cover all sports here at Ship It Nation. Of course, NASCAR, MMA, and baseball is in season right now. NFL preseason is here. There were some big winners in the Discord already this weekend. Or what, Thursday night was the week one game. I didn't watch it, if I'm being honest, but I know there were some big winners because I saw the screenshots. So, of course, NFL and college football are right around the corner. PGA, of course, the boys crush that every single week. All sports partnered with the Sabre Sim Optimizer, the greatest optimizer in the game. Projections and ownership, the Stone 2.0, which I love oh so much. Slate Plans, which is now in the Slate Station, which is also fantastic. Showdown content, Discord access, which greatest Discord in the DFS game today. And of course, educational courses by Hoop Tambo and the rest of the gang here at Chip It Nation. Everything you need to have success with DFS for less here at Ship It Nation. Of course, if you haven't joined the nation already, 5 days, $19, 5 days. Come on in. Look, figure out the sports calendar, right? Look at the sports calendar and see, here's my 5 days where I have so many things I want to watch and gamble on. Jump in then for 5 days, right? It's a great way to give us a shot. So 5 days trial for $19. Discord access is included in that trial, which most companies don't do. Of course, we already have our all access plans, which are here on the screen. I should probably zoom out so I can get all of them on the screen at one time. Look at me go. I've only been doing this for 3 years, right? So our all access plans are on the screen. We have content only. If you already have your optimizer or you don't need one, etc., you just want our content, we have content only plans, as well as single sport plans. If you just wanted me, which, hey, who doesn't just want me, right? $29 annual, $17 per month billed annually. If you need the optimizer, $50 per month or $25 per month billed annually. So like I said, any way you slice it, we have something that will work for you here at ShipItNation.com. Ooh, that was a good one. I got to clip that and save that for future recordings. It would definitely save me some time. Back to the Iowa Corn 350 powered by ethanol at the Iowa Speedway. Where's my notes? Here they are. This weekend, we have 350 laps on deck, which should equal out to 245, roughly, Dominator points. 2 to 3 Dominators will be your play today. We have a very chalky pulse hitter, to be honest with you. And we have some heavy hitters for place differential, but I still think 2 to 3 Dominators will be the way we go today. Let me go ahead and bring up the Stone here, switch to this tab, and I got to zoom in. My goodness, I already had this zoomed in. Why did it look so bad? There we go. Back to the Stone. So this weekend practice was nothing too exciting. The big story coming out of practice was brake issues for Joe Gibbs Racing, particularly Denny Hamlin and Chase Briscoe. Chase Briscoe's team did seem to get the brake issue rectified by the time qualifying came around, and he qualified a respectable 20th. But Denny didn't really seem to get his sorted, and he qualified 29th. So that was the big story in practice, was the JGR brake issues. You have to assume they will have that rectified by today. They are one of the top 2 teams in the industry, if not the top team in the industry today. So you have to assume they're not going into today with bad brakes on their cars. The big story then coming out of qualifying was sadly Brad Keselowski. Kes looked, like mid in practice, like Keselowski normally does. I'm not like talking negative on him, but he normally looks kind of mid in practice. He set a 4th place first lap, and then he promptly backed her into the wall right after he set that time. So what does that mean for us DFS players? Well, it was reported that they are making repairs to the primary car, and they're not rolling out the backup car. So they must have confidence in the primary car to make those repairs. However, they will be considered unapproved adjustments, and Keselowski is all but guaranteed to be starting at the rear of the field today, which makes him an incredibly hard DFS play, in my opinion, as he will be scored from his original 4th place starting position. So you're taking a mid. I don't want to talk too negatively about Keselowski, but he's by the back end of his career, right? You're taking him, who put a great first lap up, and then putting him all the way at the tail end of the field to pass a ton of good cars. Could he do that and potentially have a good day at the end of the day today? Yeah, he could. It's possible. I'm not saying it's not. However, for us in DFS, it's a hard click to make. He will have to pass like 32 cars to like even begin scoring like positive place differential points. And you can't tell me Keselowski's going to do that in a time where he can get to the front and then get Dominator points on top of it, right? So if you want to play Keselowski, if you're a Brad Keselowski fan, I think he should only be considered in 150 max or more tournaments. And even then, like 5%, 4%, nothing, just, play him in case the miracle happens, but I wouldn't click him in anything other than that. Other than that, though, it was kind of a ho-hum practice session and kind of a ho-hum qualifying with, some pretty heavy hitters starting up front. Of course, we're going to start with, and I guess we'll do our breakdown now because this makes the most sense. And I'm going to look at the PDF that's over here. Actually, can I move it on this monitor so I look straight ahead of me? Yeah, but then it lost the zoom. Okay, so we're going to keep that like that. And we're just going to go like that. And like that. Like that. Look at me go. So on the poll, Ryan Blaney, disgusting odds. Plus 210 to win on BetMGM, I believe. Look, is he the odds-on favorite? Obviously, to win the day, yes. Is he excellent at short flat tracks? Yes. Was he the fastest in practice? Yes. Is he on the pole? Yes. Plus 210 is still disgusting. I hate it. I think this might be the lowest oval odds we've seen yet this season for a winner. Normally, we're getting minus SVG odds on road course. We're used to that by now. But plus 210 for an oval track still is disgusting to me, and I think will always be disgusting to me. But let's not get it twisted. This is Ryan Blaney's race to lose today. He's excels at these short flat tracks. Penske in a whole excels at these short flat tracks. And look, A pluses across the board, right? Like A plus recent form, he's fast all season long. A plus at Iowa, A plus on short flats, and ones across the board in practice. He is projected disgusting ownership today. I don't think he'll get that much, but he should still probably be the highest owned driver of the slate. And he is set up to dominate. Clean air is king in these next gen cars, and if he can get the jump, look out. So it could be a pretty boring, I don't want to say boring, but Blaney could potentially put on a stinker today, kind of like Logano did at North Wilkes-Barre. Starting outside pole is Kyle Larson. He was kind of ho-hum in practice. Like long run is king today. So he was 10th in the 30. That's respectable. It's been a minute, though, since we've seen a Larson dominating performance. And I think he's going to, I don't want to say struggle today, but he needs to get the jump at the start and get Blaney right away. And so he can be in clean air and he can set the pace. And if that does not happen, which is unlikely because he's not the leader, he's not starting the race. If that does not happen, which is unlikely, it's a great chance he's going to be trapped behind Blaney and Logano. And he could be looking behind those two forwards like all day long. So I think he'll be in and up there all day. I just don't know if he's going to have anything for Blaney or his teammate, Joey Logano. Logano also is fantastic at these short flat tracks. He put on a stinker recently at North Wilkes-Barre, led, 325 of 450. Could he do that today? Yeah, he could. He's good at this track. He is in the same equipment as Ryan Blaney. Now, Ryan Blaney does have to clean air. He is, in the catbird seat to set this thing off. But don't sleep on Logano. He's not projected nearly as high as Blaney is. And he could stink this show up just as much as Blaney could stink this show up. So Logano is in play today, in my opinion. Brad Keselowski, we spoke on him. He's a no-go for me, dog. Tyler Reddick, look, fast all season long. I just don't love him on short flat tracks. If we look at his practice, good, decent long-run speed. If you want to take a shot on him, have at it. I think he's a GPP only play. Only 8,500 though. It's wild that he's that budget friendly and he won how many races this season, right? So crazy. Ty Gibbs, also budget friendly, 8,200. He was excellent in practice. He does not have great track history here, but this is only the third race the Cup Series has ran at Iowa, so it's kind of hard to be like he sucks at Iowa. There's only been like 2 races to look at, right? So technically he does suck at Iowa, but he's been fast all season long. One earlier in the year, looked great in practice. Is the highest starting Joe Gibbs racing car. Yes, Reddick is ahead of him, but that's not Joe Gibbs. So, and he's cheap, 8,200. It's, budget-friendly Dominator option for sure. So love me some Ty Gibbs today. Austin Dillon and Connor Zilic, I think, are kind of unplayable. Austin Dillon looked, awful in practice. Don't know how he pulled that qualifying run off. Same with Zilic. You just got to assume they're going to lose crazy spots throughout the day. Ross Chastain looked good. He's not a pretty click. He hasn't been great this season, but practice did look good. And this week, I kind of relying heavily on practice because there hasn't been too many races here at Iowa for the Cup Series, and it was a fairly decent practice session yesterday. So Ross looked good yesterday in practice and is cheap at only 7,100. So if you want to throw him in your GPP player pool to get off some of that PD chalk, by all means, have at it. Eric Jones and Michael McDowell up next. Both of them struggled in practice. Eric Jones had the fastest 1 lap in practice, but who cares about that? Mike Mack also slow in practice, so that's probably a no for me, dog, on both of those. Austin Cindric, gimme. He's a Team Penske car. Yes, his stone metrics doesn't look great, but decent practice, and he is a Penske car. So yes, I will absolutely have Austin Cindric just as much as I will have Josh Berry. Yes, Josh Berry is a lame duck driver. It was announced he would not be returning to that Wood Brothers car. However, he does excel at these style of racetracks. He was having a good run, I believe, at Wilkes-Barre until things went south, and this is a Penske prepared Ford. That's the key. A Penske prepared Ford. If you can put the negativity of Josh Berry's season out of your mind and just think of, okay, he excels at this style of racetrack. He was looking good at Wilkes-Barre until he got caught up in some junk. And this is a Penske Ford, which has 2 cars starting in the top 3, and Cindric in 12th and Berry in 13th. I expect Josh Berry to have a good day today. I expect Josh Berry to have a good next couple of weeks. This might be good in helping him find a job. Zane Smith, I have no interest in at all. Where are we at here? I have this blown up so much. I feel like I'm an old man. Zane Smith is up next. I really have no interest in him. I expect him to lose. spots. Noah Gragson, same. Expect him to lose a ton of spots. Ricky Stenhouse, same. Expect him to lose spots. Todd Gilliland, gimme. It seems whenever Gilliland has a good practice session, that means this car has actual speed and not just, fake speed, right? Not just like, oh, Gilliland got a good qualifying lap. Gilly looked great in practice. He really, really did. And he's only 5,800. 5,800. So, yeah. Like, I know we normally want our PD plays to be cheap and from the back. And we do have some budget-friendly PD plays in the rear. But I just don't know how many people are going to click on Gilly just because it's Gilly, right? It's Gilly in 17th. Gilly looked good in practice. I expect a good day from Gilly today. So fingers crossed. Hocevar up next. Kid's fast all season. I think he's ranked 5th in points. So yeah, I have no problem clicking on him. William Byron, I believe he's a previous winner here. Don't quote me on that. In fact, hold on. Strike that. Reverse that. I have the ability. I have the internet in front of me, guys. I can look that up. Believe it or not, I don't remember all of this off the top of my head all of the time. Yeah, Byron has his average finish was 1.5 to Blaney's 2.5. They both, in the two races here, Byron won one, Blaney won the other. I was going to put Byron in the Dom pool, but I have him the head of the PD pool this week, just because it's been a while since we've seen William Byron dominate and win, and even just win a race. I think his last race was last season at Talladega. It got spicy on the radio with him and the team. We had an off week, so I forget when it happens, after an off week, but a spicy moment with him and the team on the radio earlier in the week, or from a race recently, which is, we don't see that often for William Byron and the 24 team. So does do really good here. Did look really good in practice. Just don't know if he'll be able to put it all together because it has been a while since we've seen that. Chase Briscoe, all the positivity for Chase Briscoe going into this weekend. It looked decent in practice. Is the Joe Gibbs Racing, so he's in a good car. Has had speed all season. Announced his boyhood dream yesterday. His boyhood dream was to own a touring sprint car team, and now he does. He bought the Brent Marks Racing team, which is right near my hometown, to be honest with you. And now he owns that team, and he is going high limit racing for the rest of 5 years at least. So all kinds of positivity for Chase Briscoe. He was doing all kinds of sprint car media yesterday, just smiling from ear to ear, happy. You got to think some of those good vibes translate into his performance today. Of course, him buying a sprint car team does not mean, he's going to win the race today. But if you're going into a race like with such an elevated mood, because we're going to talk about somebody who doesn't have that here coming up, it sets everything off to be positive. And he's had speed all season, and 9,200 for a driver of his caliber in that equipment, too cheap in my opinion. So give me some Chase Briscoe. John Hunter Nemechek also looked good in practice. I can't believe he's cheaper than Gilly, but he is, or not cheaper. I can't believe Gilly is cheaper than John Hunter, I should say. John Hunter 62 compared to Gilly's 58. However, John Hunter does give you better PD upside. Look, this dome don't look great, but he has had some speed, if you can call it that, recently, and he looked good in practice. So I'll take John Hunter. Christopher Bell, love me some C-Bell. He ranked second behind Blaney's first in all aspects of practice. He's great at this style of racetrack. He does have a B for the track rank, but like I said, only 2 races, so you can't throw all your stones in that basket. So love me some Christopher Bell. Shane Van Gisbergen seems to be figuring out this oval track stuff, but practice did not look great, so I'm still kind of sus on clicking that button. Austin Hill, that's a no for me, dog. AJ Allmendinger, probably not. Bubba Wallace is our next main discussion. He looked good in practice, typical Bubba top 10, right? He had I don't even know, like I watched it and I didn't think it was like all that. He did not qualify good at all. And in his post qualifying media availability, he was visibly distraught. Like they were asking him questions and he's like, I can't stop thinking about how, pardon my French, shitty that qualifying run was. Just absolutely beating himself up. Like, you could see it in his face, like just like anguish that he had such a terrible qualifying run. I don't like to play therapist or whatever, but the mental aspect does seem to get to Bubba a little bit more than it does to some of the other drivers. Like, you can hear that like on the radio, you see that like in like post-race stuff, etc., etc. If he can overcome that, he should have a good day today. He's not a 20, no matter what you think about him, he's not a 26th place car, right? And he was good in practice, but man, that qualifying interview or post-qualifying interview did not give me much confidence, but gotta assume he'll be able to overcome that today and give us a positive day. Chris Buescher is always a click I make. Didn't look fantastic in practice. Not the greatest track history here, but like I said, only 2 races. So no problem taking a chance on Buescher, even though his practice speeds were, very middle of the road. So no problem there. Riley Herbst looked slow, but he has had some speed throughout the season. So if you want to make the click just because there has been something there, by all means, go ahead. But probably no for me. Denny Hamlin starting at 29th. He had brake issues all practice, like I spoke about earlier, and then followed that up by not a great qualifying run. Decent practice, not the greatest history here. I think he has like 2/24. I think I looked up. He's the fastest car all season long, though. So, you know, you have to include him in the pool, in my opinion. He just has a lot of cars to pass. So and the brake issues, you have to assume they have those fixed, but they do have to linger on the back of your mind. Alex Bowman is probably a no for me. Lame duck driver for 2027, hasn't really shown us anything yet this season. Yeah, he does have good history here, but I can't click on him. Ty Dillon, that's going to be a no for me, dog. Chase Elliott, yeah, I guess. Didn't look great in practice. Has good history here, though. Is a good short flat tracker. Vegas odds aren't terrible, and he gives you great positive upside. Just practice didn't look great, and I can't get it out of my mind when Hendrick was really terrible at Watkins Glen practice and then had a really terrible race followed up by that. Now, there's quite literally nothing the same between Watkins Glen and Iowa. Nothing the same besides the fact that there's cars and they're racing. That's the only thing that they share remotely the same. But Hendrick did have that problem, and Hendrick was trash. Is it going to be that kind of day again today? Like, look, you have Larson in second, you have Willie B in 19th, and you have Bowman and Elliott, 30th and 32nd? I don't know. Mi amigo, Daniel Suarez, fast all season. Middle of the road practice. If you need to click on somebody down here, I don't hate it. Cody Ware, no. Ryan Preece is going to get a ton of love today just because he's Ryan Preece and he is budget friendly, and he's probably the safest click you can make down here. Down here meaning like in the 34th through 36th section. But he also looked slow in practice. He only did a 10-lap session. He didn't go anything like longer than that. And followed up by a crappy qualifying session. He will get a lot of love today by a lot of players, and he normally does do good for us. You normally don't have to worry about Preece fighting for your daily fantasy point per dollar, right? Normally he gets there. But he did look slow. He did look slow. If you want to pivot off of him in GPPs, by all means, I don't think that's a terrible idea at all today. So, hey, that's everything I have for this morning here for your quick hit for the Iowa Corn 350 at Iowa Speedway. Of course, if you have any questions concerning the slate, please feel free to hit me up on Discord. I am at TheGame 310. Most people know that in that channel. And as always, let's ship it.